Welcome. So today we're going to be taking a look into r/best of Redditor updates. And we have some partners behaving badly today. I will have you know, yes, and some friends behaving badly. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. So, today's post was posted by Choice Evidence 1983. My 35M friend 36M loyalty tested my wife 40F without my knowledge. She failed. I feel done with them both. What to do? So, Choice Evidence, of course, is not the original poster. They are the person who compiled it all together for us. How very lovely. The original poster is u/throwra friend test. So we have some trigger warnings here for misogyny, mentions of drug use, and assault and infidelity. Originally posted January 29th, 2026. Been with my wife for 10 years, married for 6. I thought we were really happy. She's got a kid from a previous relationship, dad not in the picture. I have taken on the role. We both work, me full-time, her part-time. We live a good life. Holiday abroad every few months, flipping heck. I haven't been on holiday since I was 15. How sad. No real financial worries, both in pretty good shape, and plenty of love, affection, and sex between us. I thought we'd be together forever. On to my friend. His wife left him in horrific circumstances last year. He came home one day to find her gone with their 2-year-old. She's left him to a drug dealer she met on Instagram, who ended up them both, and it's a massive legal issue that destroyed him. Since then, he's become very anti-woman, despite having a great family full of women. He's constantly telling us all how all women are the same, etc. Well, last week he sent me a load of screenshots, must have been over 100 of them, going back to November last year and finishing on January 15th. He got another phone and started messaging my wife pretending to be a man from a couple of hours away who got the wrong number. Within a week, he was getting nudes from her, sexting, etc. By Christmas, she was telling him that she loves him, and the final one was a photo of her walking into a hotel to meet him, and then angry messages from her asking where he was. I went around to his house and was distraught. He told me he'd done this to another 6 friends of ours, only my wife failed. He had the phone with him, and as I was there, she messaged him asking where he'd gone and saying how much she misses him. He's shown me that she'd been sending stuff like that the past week with no response. I left there without really saying anything and went home, and once my wife and I were alone, I confronted her with the evidence I have. She started crying and saying that she doesn't know why she did it and just started off as a bit of fun at work and then got carried away. I mean, saying it started off as just a bit of fun at work, it doesn't make any excuse for it. Like, oh yeah, just like flirtatiously texting another man I've never met, not that it would be any better if she had met him, is just a bit of fun at work. Like, go away with that. All the way away. What the hell? She said she feels like she loves us both and doesn't want to lose me. And can we also talk about how messed up it is that the friend did that in the first place? Like, I think it's messed up when people get their friends to, like, you know, loyalty test their partners in the first place. I know obviously people have different opinions on that, and I don't care. That's my opinion. I think it's messed up. You shouldn't need to loyalty test someone that, you know, you should be able to trust. If you can't trust them, I would take a look at the relationship and wonder if it's worth it, to be honest. But him going ahead and doing that off his own back without even having the permission of the OP is wild, all because he's been scorned by someone. And it is unfortunate though that this woman, the OP's wife, has taken the bait, because now in that friend's mind he is completely justified in the way he views women now as a whole, which is so annoying, if anything. Like, it's so annoying that now he's gonna feel vindicated in the way he feels, and he's gonna think that his way of acting and doing this sort of stuff is acceptable. And I mean, clearly he already thinks it's acceptable because he says he's done it to like another 6 friends. I'd be fuming. I didn't know what to do, so just left and went to a hotel. I'm still here now and unsure of what my next step should be. I want to cut them both off, but I will miss my stepdaughter so much, and my friends are saying I can't be mad at my friend as he did me a favour. TLDR, friend catfished my wife and she fell for it. Now, yeah, I think that the OP should cut them both off, honestly. This woman got turned by someone she had never met in real life. She was so willing to cheat, and she was so willing to do it with someone she hadn't even met or had any proper real world connection with. And I think that says an awful lot about the type of person she is. So, relevant comments. Commenter 1. Well, that's a shit thing that your friend did, but it's more concerning that your wife fell for it. She was gonna sleep with this stranger. Exactly, like, that is wild to me. And to top it off, she is the only one that fell for it out of the other wives. I will leave it at that. I mean, yeah, because it's not really something you fall for, is it? It's like, either you're a cheating piece of shit or you're not, and obviously the other wives are not cheating pieces of shit. I would love to be a fly on the wall when she finds out your friend catfished her. Yeah, me too. To be fair, me too. And then the OOP says, I think I could get past it if it was just texting, but I can't get past the going to meet him. Nah, even the texting, considering it was like raunchy texting, is not okay to do if you're in a relationship or married. It's just not with somebody else. And that to me would be the end of the relationship alone, even if it was just texting, because it shows that the intention is there. Even if they haven't actually gone out and done it yet, it shows willing and it shows the intention to do it. So yeah, that would still be the end of a relationship for me personally. Commenter 2 says, divorce the cheating wife and drop the woman-hating friend before dating again. Yes, exactly. Or he'll do this to you over and over. And then the OOP says, I think this is the only way I can move on. And then commenter 3 says, did she know this friend previous to this taking place? And OOP says, yep, they've met each other hundreds of times. So OOP then clarifies on if his wife met the friend pretending to be a stranger at the hotel. OOP says they didn't meet at the hotel. She went there and he took photos of her from his car. That's so creepy. Really creepy. They are both weird. The wife and the friend. Were there other people involved with catfishing OOP's wife, or just this friend? OOP says he acted alone. OOP on his stepdaughter and if he's going to stay in touch with her. OOP says she's 15. I'll fight tooth and nail to stay in contact with her. Yeah, hopefully because she's 15, like, she can kind of make a bit of a choice on that. I don't know though. I feel like the wife's gonna really try and get in the way because she's been caught red-handed, and it's kind of the only leverage she's got at this point, isn't it, unfortunately? I'm going to meet my stepdaughter this weekend and ask her if we can still maintain a relationship. I miss her so much. I miss getting up and watching stupid cartoons together that her mum doesn't get. I miss us talking about random memes. I miss us shadow fighting. I miss us baking and cooking together. I just miss her so much I can't stop crying. I don't miss my wife at all. That's so unfortunate about, like, the stepdaughter. That's really sad. How did this friend get all wives' numbers, including OOP's wife? OOP says, from a group chat we were all in for a wedding party. Commenter 4 says, I just can't stop thinking about the level of effort your friend went through to do this. He got another phone, this whole scheme, 4 months, to try to get nudes out of his friends' wives, manipulate her, like, how sick. As for your wife, I think a divorce is justified. Trust is broken. Unfortunately, this will hurt your stepdaughter. You can maintain a relationship with her, but who knows what her mother will tell her about the reason for the divorce. You will likely lose her too. I'm so sorry. Your friend is garbage, and I would cut him off first. Yeah, that's so creepy. Like, the more you really think about it, it's so bloody creepy. And I feel like the friend friend is teetering on an edge of something almost dangerous with the way he hates women so much that he's trying to do this to everyone he knows wives. It's almost like he's looking for a reason to hate them more. And I feel that that can lead down some very dangerous pipelines, you know? It's very concerning behaviour. OOP says he stole a man's picture off Twitter as well to pretend to be him. I'm hoping my stepdaughter will want to see me. OOP on the relationship between his wife and his stepdaughter's biological father and how OOP ended up being the dad instead. OOP says they were on again, off again, and then when she got pregnant, he moved down to London never to be seen again. His mum still sees my stepdaughter, but he's never seen her or spoken to her. That's unfortunate, to say the least, isn't it? Although it sounds like she's better off without him if he's the type to do that. So, update February 1st, 2026, 3 days later. I want to thank everyone who commented on my last post. There was so many, I couldn't reply to them all. I'll address a couple of things from my first post. A lot of people said my wife did nothing wrong. What? What? I'm sorry, I would like a moment to chat with whoever commented saying that she did nothing wrong, because I would love to know where their head's at. Either A, they're idiots, B, they are cheaters themselves and think that that sort of thing is okay, or C, they are double idiots. It's one of them. She went to a hotel to meet another man for sex. There are photos of her at the hotel waiting. She'd messaged saying she was there, saying I purposefully hadn't had sex with him, meaning me, for ages, so when I get my hands on you, I'll be ripping your clothes off and my own. Then messages of her asking where he is, and even a week later when he stopped replying saying she misses him, and pictures of herself saying how much she still wants him. Oh yeah, she's done nothing wrong, has she? Oh my life. Some people are wild. A few people said my friend wasn't catfishing her and he was sending photos of himself and she knew. My friend is white and dumpy. The pictures were of a black adult film star stolen from his Twitter. Yeah, that is literally catfishing. Like, they never watch Catfish on TV. God, that used to be on when I was like a kid, like a teenager. And I used to actually get really bored of it back then. I never really appreciated how crazy that show was when I was a teenager, to be honest. Now on to the update. First and most importantly, I met my stepdaughter yesterday. We met at a park and when we saw each other, we both started crying and just hugged for 5 minutes. Every memory of her from when I first met her went through my head and I didn't want to let her go for fear of never hugging her again. Aww, that's so cute. We sat on a park bench and the first thing she asked is what happened. She's 15 and I didn't see a reason to lie. I said her mum got catfished and she fell for it and has been having an online affair for a few months and told another man that she loved him. I left out the news and the hotel bit. Yeah, that's probably a good thing, to be fair. She doesn't need to know that much, does she really? My stepdaughter said that her mum had told her that all she had done was message an old friend and I got jealous, but she said she knew I wasn't like that and her aunt, wife's sister, had told her that her mum had cheated and I had done nothing wrong. I told her I have hundreds of screenshots, but I won't show them her. She begged to see one so she could know. I tried to find a non-sexual one and showed her one where her mum said I love you more after 10 weeks than I do him after 10 years. My stepdaughter was as horrified as I was and just said, oh my god. After that, we sat and talked for a couple of hours about everything. She said she still wants me as part of her life and when I get my own place, she'll be over all the time. She said I'm still her dad and always will be, even after I told her I planned to divorce her mum. She said her auntie and her grandma both encouraged her to stay in touch with me because she told them that she was scared I didn't want her anymore. Oh. I said nothing could be further from the truth. I gave her a lift back home and we've been texting non-stop since, sending stupid videos to each other, and she said her grandma said we can use her kitchen to bake together again, so we are doing that later today. Oh, I love that, I really do. I'm glad they've managed to maintain a relationship because considering he's known her since she was like a little dot, Like, he's essentially became her father, hasn't he? He's taken on that role. He said he's taken on that role. How old was the daughter again when they first got together? Being my wife, 10 years, married, but she's got a kid from a so she would have been about 5, yeah. So she was really little. Sorry if you can hear me clicking through. I was just going back just to remind myself. So I am glad they've been able to maintain a relationship because he is essentially, for all intents and purposes, her dad now, isn't he? So, as for my wife and my friend, I've told my wife I want a divorce, which caused a barrage of texts and phone calls that I've ignored. I've told my friend that I want low contact with him, but I did ask why he didn't stop once he got nudes, and he said, because you don't get jealous, and I thought you'd probably just find it funny. Yeah, right. Which is probably true. No, OP, I think you're being a little bit too forgiving there. And why low contact? I would be saying no contact, mate, to be honest. Don't let this dude mug you off. If she told me a wrong number was texting, I probably would say flirt with it for a laugh, lol. I do get people's point though when they say that I shouldn't be mad at him because if it wasn't him, it would have been someone else, but he did target her insecurities. No, I think the OP should still be mad at his friend because his friend overstepped the mark by doing that behind the OP's back. He was purposefully trying to get nudes from his friend's wife under the pretense of pretending to be somebody else. It's still icky and a complete and utter lack of respect for the friendship that they had. Personally, I think it crosses boundaries. And if it was a friend of mine that did that, even if it did result in me finding out that the person that I was with was a cheating piece of shite, I still wouldn't want to be friends with that person either anymore, because I would feel like I just don't feel you're a good friend. You've done this behind my back. He knew she was insecure about her height and said, first time I finally meet an Amazonian woman at a bar and we have a good time, she gives me a false number. And he knows she struggles with having an athletic build. And he mentioned his ideal woman would be tall and strong built and how he doesn't get the trend for short women with big boobs and bums. But at the same time, she's a detective for the No, she's not. No. Stop. Is she really? Oh my goodness. She's a fucking detective for the police force and should have recognized she was being played. She's not very good at detecting, is she? Sorry if it's not an exciting update. So, relevant comments. Commenter 1. I read all of your comments and you never said in detail what did your wife say when you told her how your friend catfished her? What was her reaction? Anything besides just crying? Was there disbelief or comments? Has she continued to try and contact you? OOP said she started having a kind of panic attack and calling herself stupid. Then she said it doesn't count then, and I told her it bloody did. Yeah, it bloody does. She had tried to contact me loads of times every day. And then commenter 2 says, question, never heard of being a part-time, you mentioned she doesn't work full-time in previous posts, detective in the police force. Is that a thing in your country? So then OOP says, yeah, she mainly does desk work now. She does 3 full days a week. She's in anti-corruption now, so investigates other officers. Oh, interesting. That's actually quite an interesting role. It's a shame she's a piece of turd. Commenter 2 says, well, that is just embarrassing. Good lord. If her stupidity gets out in her workplace, she won't have a shred of credibility. Already a boys' club. Yeah, that is true. My friend was a detective. She ended up quitting because her full-time hours with massive overtime on cases meant she hardly saw her kids. Think seeing too many little ones also was a factor after becoming a mum. She could compartmentalize to a point before. Yeah, see, I could never do a job like that. It's a vital job role, but oh my goodness, it sounds like an awful job role to have at the same time. I just think it could not be me. I just couldn't. And I think hats off to those people who can put themselves through that to then be able to help the victims, because the bed, that sounds like an awful job. OOP then says, yeah, to be fair to her, she's seen some horrendous stuff, and a few years ago got injured in a car crash at work and has been part-time and office-bound since. She's physically okay and has said to me she used it as an excuse/reason to take a step back until her 25 years is up. So then commenter 3 says, I mean, your friend originally acted from a place of hate and pain, with the intent of proving to you and your other friends that all women suck. I'm glad your daughter, her aunt, and her grandma proved otherwise. I'm really sorry at how things played out, the hurt it caused you, and the way it's shaken your life up. I'm also glad that your daughter, the aunt, and the grandmother all have your back and supporting you preserving your relationship with your daughter. Yeah, I love to see that because so often we see the family members of the person who's done wrong sticking up for them. So I'm so glad to see that. Also, I'm glad you showed her one of the texts. OOP then says, I had to show her one and I tried to treat her as an adult. It was just hard to find a screenshot that wasn't explicit as she didn't need to see that. Yeah, no, definitely not. Commenter 4 then says, thank you for loving that little girl the best way you can. It's not her fault. My heart hurts for her and you. And then OOP says, it's not hard to love her. She's incredible. My life is better with her in it. And then commenter 5 says, well, I'm glad at the very least your daughter and in-laws are on your side on this one. Sister-in-law not lying to her niece is an example of a woman with integrity. Mother-in-law offering a kitchen so you can spend time together baking is an example of a maternal figure who cares about her granddaughter above all. OOP, get your divorce and use your village to keep being in your daughter's life. Your friend and soon-to-be ex-wife are pieces of shit. Insecurities or not, but you're young and still able to start over someday while keeping the most important people in your life around. Overall, your future seems brighter now than on D-Day. Keep moving, soldier. And then OOP says thank you. Her family have been terrific with me, to be honest. Okay, so I think that's all we've got time for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that is your initiation into the Coven of Void. Welcome. Leave a comment for me. Leave a comment. Oh, what could I get you to comment today? What can you tell me about today? Oh, I know. Tell me the name of your favourite book, like the best one you've ever read. I would love to know. I'm always looking for book recommendations. At the moment, I am reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It's pretty good. It's an easy read, and I like that. I like chilled books sometimes, but I like all sorts, to be honest. I think my favourite of all time, it's actually a series. I think my favourite is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because it's like the first book I think I remember taking off my dad's shelf and actually putting the time into sitting down and reading. And you know, you've got to love a bit of like ridiculous, insane sci-fi humour, haven't you, really? So yeah. Whatever it is you're doing today, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.